Did you ever wonder what your love life would be like if you viewed it from the perspective of an ancient philosopher? Today, we're going to dive into a viewpoint that has its roots in history, but still resonates with us today. The Stoic perspective. Stoicism, born in ancient Greece and thriving during the time of ancient Rome, wasn't just about pondering the mysteries of the universe or the meaning of life. It also delved into the complexities of our emotions and relationships. According to the Stoics, life should be in sync with nature, and this includes understanding and wisely handling our emotions, like love and desire. Love and sexuality, as seen by the Stoics, are not fleeting passions. Instead, they offer chances to practice virtue, exercise self-control, and importantly, recognize our shared humanity with others. The Stoics taught us that while love can be a powerful and unifying force, it should be approached with awareness and not driven by uncontrolled passions. Regarding sexuality, it wasn't just a physical act. It was seen as an expression of the natural order, with its own purposes and meanings. Understanding this idea is significant because it helps us find deeper and more meaningful ways to connect with ourselves and others. In a nutshell, the Stoics provide us with a unique perspective on love and sexuality, one that encourages self-control, respect, and mutual understanding. So, if you've ever felt confused about matters of the heart and relationships, or if you're looking for a fresh and profound outlook, come with me as we explore love and sexuality through the Stoics' eyes. Even though their wisdom comes from a bygone era, the lessons they offer are just as relevant today as they were then. When discussing Stoicism, it's impossible not to mention their deep reverence for nature. But how does this relate to our own desires and sexuality? Well, for the Stoics, understanding human nature was crucial for leading a virtuous life. They held the belief that each of us is born with certain inclinations and desires that are morally neutral at their core. The true significance lies in our choices and actions in response to these desires. So, when we talk about desire, especially the desire for intimacy, it's not something to be shunned or seen as inherently negative. It's simply a part of being human. However, what sets us apart, according to the Stoics, is how we choose to act based on these desires. The Stoics didn't just see desire as a natural aspect. They looked at sexuality in a broader way, connected to the universe. According to their perspective, the entire universe followed a natural order, a sequence of causes and effects. In this context, sexuality wasn't just about physical acts or simple attractions. It was a reflection of the universal order, a way to connect with something greater, the rhythm and harmony of the cosmos. So, when we explore sexuality from a Stoic perspective, we're not just talking about individual desires or actions. We're discussing how these fit into the grand scheme of nature. It serves as a reminder that we are fundamentally natural beings, and our desires and actions, even in matters of intimacy, must be understood and addressed within that context. Ultimately, our sexuality, like any other aspect of our existence, presents an opportunity to live in harmony with the universe and with ourselves. Have you ever heard of the term Stoic love? At first glance, it might sound contradictory, because Stoicism is often associated with self-control and detachment, while love is one of the most intense and passionate emotions we experience. However, this is where the beauty of Stoic thinking about love truly shines. Seneca, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, shared a profound perspective. He suggested that we should not avoid emotions, but rather choose which emotions to follow. In other words, Stoicism doesn't advocate suppressing our feelings, but it encourages us to guide and direct them. The central idea here is not to let ourselves be swept away by uncontrolled passions. Love, when it's too sudden and not controlled, can make us act without thinking, become too focused on someone, or feel very overwhelmed. But when we use Stoic wisdom and love, we can feel a deep and special love without getting stressed. This is often called unattached love. It means loving without expecting something in return, without trying to own or control the other person, but simply enjoying their company and valuing the moments we share. Speaking of this, it's impossible not to mention Epictetus, who had some of the most profound thoughts on love and desire. One of his most iconic quotes goes like this: "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will have a tranquil life." When applied to love, Epictetus is telling us that instead of trying to mold a relationship according to our wishes or expectations, we should learn to love and appreciate things as they are. We should accept the impermanence of relationships, the possibility that they may change or even end, and still choose to love regardless. Detachment, according to the Stoics, isn't about caring less or being distant. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It means loving in a more sincere and freeing way. It's the ability to enjoy the present without always stressing about the future. To value your loved one as they are without trying to make them different. And to realize that real love isn't about owning someone, but setting them free. In summary, the Stoics offer us a unique perspective on love. One that is passionate, yet balanced and centered. It's a reminder that love, in its purest form, is a celebration of life and our connection with others. When we experience love from this place of Stoic wisdom and detachment, it becomes one of the most enriching and transformative experiences of our lives. Marriage and family have long played crucial roles in various cultures throughout history. But how did the Stoics view these institutions? What significance did they attribute to marriage and family? And how did they navigate these aspects of life in their daily existence? To start, it's important to understand that for the Stoics, marriage wasn't merely a union of two people in love. It was also a commitment to society and a means to ensure the continuity of humanity. Marcus Aurelius, who was both a philosopher and an emperor, saw marriage as something natural. He believed it was about continuing the human species, not just following a social custom. To him, it was an important part of the way the world works, in harmony with nature. From the Stoic standpoint, the responsibilities and duties within a marriage weren't seen as burdens, but as opportunities for personal growth and contributions to the greater good. Fidelity, mutual respect, support, and commitment were fundamental values for the Stoics in marriage. A successful marital relationship was founded on virtues, mutual understanding, and a shared commitment to working together for the betterment of both the couple and the community. When it came to teaching children, the Stoics believed kids weren't just little adults. They saw them as growing individuals who needed help, love, and good role models to follow. Seneca, one of the Stoic thinkers, put it beautifully when he said that children learn more from how their parents act than from what their parents tell them. In simple terms, parents' behavior and actions were the most important lessons for their kids. From this Stoic perspective, educating a child wasn't limited to imparting knowledge. It encompassed instilling values, teaching through example, and preparing them to confront life with wisdom and resilience. In conclusion, the Stoic view of marriage and family emphasized commitment to nature, society, and self. It wasn't merely about fulfilling roles or adhering to social conventions, but about living in alignment with principles that enrich the lives of individuals and the broader community. This way of thinking still matters in today's world. It gives us a new and smart way to handle relationships and family responsibilities. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "What's good for the group is good for the individual bee." It reminds us that we should look at love and relationships not just as individuals, but as part of a bigger picture. It means that what's good for one should also be good for the other, and the other way around. Seneca, on the other hand, encouraged us to practice kindness wherever we find a fellow human being, in the context of love and relationships. This reflection invites us to treat our partners with kindness, understanding, and respect, recognizing their humanity and the value they bring to our lives. Now, let's explore how we can apply these Stoic insights to our current relationships and daily lives. Here are some practical ideas based on Stoic philosophy. Value the present. Seneca reminds us that life is fleeting, so we should cherish every moment with our partners. Live in the present, and don't let worries or future expectations overshadow your current happiness. Exercise self-control. The Stoics emphasize the importance of self-control in love. This means not giving in to baseless jealousy, anger, or resentment. Cultivate patience and understand that everyone, including yourself, is imperfect. Love without attachment. As Epictetus taught, we should avoid clinging too tightly to external things because they are not within our control. This includes our relationships. Love passionately, but be prepared to accept any outcome with serenity. Cultivate open communication. While the Stoics didn't directly address communication in relationships, they stressed the significance of wisdom and mutual understanding in daily life. In relationships, open and honest communication is essential for both understanding and being understood. Seek mutual growth. Love isn't just about experiencing butterflies in your stomach. It's also about growing together as individuals. As Marcus Aurelius said, seek what is beneficial for both and foster mutual improvement within the relationship. In conclusion, Stoic wisdom invites us to view love and relationships from a perspective of authenticity, understanding, and growth. Although these teachings originate from a time long past, they remain a guiding light in the intricate labyrinth of love in today's world. By embracing this wisdom, we can potentially discover deeper, more meaningful, and balanced love in our lives.